What's going on, y'all? It's your man Pristine, back with the Pristine review for the Asus Zenfone 3 AR. Now, I have to say that this phone has been an absolute joy to use. I've been having a lot of fun with it. The AR technology is just, you can do some incredible things with that technology. Now, some people may consider it to be a little gimmicky. Some people may not consider it to be a necessity. But, it's just another innovative way of, it's just, creativity and innovation, tech innovation, and I love it just because I'm a huge fan of tech innovation. I'm always looking forward to see, especially when it comes to the mobile world, what technologies that all these different OEMs can really implement, for us, the end user consumer, to get our hands on and play with. On things, whether it be from a productivity standpoint or just having fun, just like playing games or having little cool features and things to mess with on the device. But, just having the ability to, map out an area and furnish an area, or, be able to, go on, I don't know about you guys, I consider myself a fashion statement. I'm very much into fashion, but it doesn't have to be like the top threads. I shop at the Gap. I shop at, Nordstrom's and the Banana Republics, and what I'm saying? I mean, I stay geared up, what I'm saying, when I do get dressed up, and, just being able to go to the Gap store, on my phone, and pick a shirt or a pair of pants or something like that and match them up together on a mannequin, what I'm saying, and actually be able to purchase it from the app on the phone depending on how it looks. I mean, that's filthy, son. That's dope, yo. You know what I mean? But again, I mean, it's not for everybody, the little BMW, app where, I can pull up an i3 or an i8 and just have a i8 just chilling in my living room or in my garage, and being able to fully walk around it as though it's really there, and be able to, tap the screen and open up the doors and get into it. And actually, it's like a real BMW i8 just right there, inside, outside. I can get into it, look at the cockpit, what I'm saying? I mean, everything, man. I mean, that's some pretty nice little technology, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely been a joy to use, and I hope you guys enjoyed that camera video that I put together for this particular phone. And I think from here on out, that's just the order of business that it's going to be. I'm going to do the unboxings, do a camera video, and then I hit you guys with the full Pristine review. What I'm attempting to do is cut down on my video times, and I know that some of you guys don't mind a long video, but I get it. Sometimes I myself don't have time to sit there and watch a long video, so I can really truly appreciate the videos that are 6, 7, 8 to 12 minutes or something like that. And it's amazing how a lot of reviewers are able to jam pack pretty much all the content and all the essentials that they need within that particular time frame. And so as I get better with my craft with this, what I'm saying, then I hope to be able to, just cut down on my video times. I mean, of course, there's still going to be some long ones out there if it calls for that. But if it doesn't necessarily need all that, then, I definitely want to try to cut down my times. And that's just trying to be respectful of all of our time. You know what I mean? So on with the Pristine review. You guys already know the order of business. First, I talk about the SpizX. You know what I'm talking about? So again, real quick, just in case you forgot, this is the Verizon variant. The first spec is the most important spec, which is the price. Now, this phone cost at Verizon $648. Okay, now I want to go over real quick the variants. There's two versions. Okay, there is a 64 gig version, onboard storage with 6 gigs of RAM for $599. Okay, and then there is the 8 gig version, which is what this is, that has 128 gigs of onboard storage for $699. Now, those are the Amazon prices. So for the 8 gigabyte, 128 gigs of storage version, which is what this is at Verizon, this is $648 plus taxes and whatnot. So that's what I paid for this device. All right. So we've got a Snapdragon 821 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, which is stupid. Not in a bad way, but I'm just saying it's crazy. It's dope. I mean, that's hella gigs. I think only this phone and the OnePlus 5 are the only other Android options right now that give you an option to have a phone with 8 gigs of RAM in it. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of onboard storage that can be expandable up to 256 gigs. We got a Snapdragon 821 processor on board. We've got a 3,300 milliamp hour battery that is non-removable. Okay, we've got a 5.7 inch Quad HD display, Super AMOLED Quad HD display. The display is just absolutely gorgeous. I believe that the maximum amount of nits that this goes up to is it's either 600 or 700 nits. Check, do your homework on that. But I believe that that's what it is as far as the brightness. And as you can see, I got the brightness at halfway, and that's all I need it to be. I don't need it any brighter than what it is right now. And I'm getting all these notifications from the Note 8 that was unveiled earlier today. You know, I did watch the keynote on that, and stay tuned because I'm gonna have it right here on the channel, y'all. Yeah. So bottom of the those are the specs, and just moving along to the hardware and the build. You know, we've got Corning Gorilla Glass 4 on the front of the device. We've got our touch capacitive buttons, which is the back, and the recents button right here. And then we do have a physical home button right here, which you guys hear that is extremely clicky, and that also doubles as the fingerprint sensor as well, and it is extremely responsive. Okay. Now, you know, the build, I'm a big fan of the build. Like I said, Corning Gorilla Glass 4 on the front for protection. Around the sides and the edges, it's made with a metal material, so a very premium build. But again, it's not a full unibody display, so it is very lightweight, and I like that fact, mainly because of the fact that when you roll it over to the back, we've got what Asus refers to as this burnished leather. And it feels really good in the hand. I mean, you don't see any smudges on it. You know, I mean, it just fits in my hand with ease, and it's very easy to grip. It doesn't feel like it's going to slip at all. Okay. And I love that about this phone. I love the way that it feels. I mean, it feels amazing in my hand. I have been rocking this phone bareback, bucket naked, you know, with no cases. But I haven't really felt as though I needed to do so. Now, typically I never drop my devices. That's not to say that I'm not, you know, susceptible to a mistake here and there. You know, so I would recommend, you know, anybody, you know, get a case for your device. But I think one of the main reasons why I opted against it was just because of the fact that when I handle this phone, I can handle this phone with such ease and comfort. And again, but the fact that it's such a lightweight, it's not a big brick. It's not made with glass on the front and back. It's not a full unibody display where it's kind of heavy, where it can kind of slip on your hand depending on how you're holding it, or if it's glass, if it'll, you know, slip out of your hand or slip out of your pocket. Or, you know, some phones you can have them on a flat surface and you'll still see them, you know, slip into the side or whatnot. You know, and I've dropped a couple of phones just with that, you know, that were made with all glass, front and back. Sitting it on the table, turn my back thinking that it was secure, and then boom, I hear a crash, only to come back around and see that my phone was on the floor because, you know, it wasn't as secure as I thought it was when sitting on a flat surface even. But with this, you don't have to worry about that. You know, it doesn't matter what type of surface you sit this phone on, because of that burnished leather on the back, it's not going anywhere. You see what I'm saying? It's not going nowhere. All right. Now, performance. I mean, again, as I mentioned in the unboxing video, it's nothing short than stellar, man. I mean, you know, you've got an 821 Snapdragon, you know, with 8 gigs of RAM. I mean, you know, and they really work to your benefit. I mean, I haven't noticed not one speck of lag at all at any time, you know, throughout using this phone. You know, I mean, it's just a breeze. Everything, I mean, everything is just like a hot knife through butter. It is buttery smooth. No lag, no hiccups whatsoever. Even while trying to get the phone to stutter and hiccup, it handles everything. The most graphically intense games, you know what I mean, that you can possibly think of, to some of the most content-heavy applications that you can load up. It loads them up quickly and efficiently, and it doesn't stutter at all. RAM management, it doesn't seem to matter how many applications you have open at the same time. This phone handles everything like a champion, okay? Like a champion, okay? And that says a lot. You know, Asus, they really went in, you know, with this particular device. Shout out to Asus again for also implementing NFC. You know what I mean? I love the fact that NFC has been implemented within this particular device. It's interesting because, you know, some of the last couple of phones that I got, the Asus Zenfone 3 Deluxe, that had NFC, but the Asus Zenfone 3 Zoom with that big camera, it was a little bit of a disappointment because that didn't have NFC. So you couldn't use your Android Pay, you couldn't, you know, do mobile pay or transfer data wirelessly or anything like that. So this does have NFC. This is just a very premium package. I mean, so, you know, not having those types of things, I mean, I'd be kind of scratching my head like, really, Asus? Really? You know, you're charging a premium price for this supposed premium product, but we don't have the premium specs and things that we need. So yeah, NFC is on this device. Glad to see that it made its way to this particular device. Okay, so performance, absolutely wonderful. I've had no problems at all whatsoever with this particular device, and that's whether it's on Wi-Fi or my 4G LTE connection through Verizon. All right, now the cameras. You guys have already seen what the camera can do. You know, if you want to know more about the camera, check out the camera video that I did for this phone. It's stupid. You know, it's just ridiculous. I mean, the camera quality, the augmented reality stuff that you can do with this device, the camera it's a stellar camera. I mean, it takes very true to life photos in good lighting and low lighting. The camera is just amazing on this particular device, both the selfie camera and the rear facing camera. So check that video out. You know, if you haven't already, it's its own separate video. It's not that long, so you guys can really take a look at what this camera is capable of in the camera video that I did for the Asus Zenfone AR here. All right, now moving right along to additional features. Now I've noticed that because of the fact that this is the Verizon exclusive, this phone was not jammed packed with a lot of the features and bloatware that it normally is on the Asus unlocked devices. Now some of you may like that. You know what I mean? Me personally, you know, I'm all about the features and the bells and whistles, baby. You know what I'm talking about? I'm all about that life. So, you know, I was a little disappointed, you know, just to see that some of the bloatware and the features have been taken. Well, I can't even necessarily say features because I don't know exactly what Asus had up its sleeve for this particular device. But what I do know is that this is, again, the Verizon variant. And there's only maybe 3 apps. You know, if you go to, where's it at? Let's go to my app drawer here. Yeah. When you go to Asus, the Asus folder, all you got is Do It Later and File Manager. Okay. Now, on an unlocked Asus device, when you hit the Asus folder, you've got a whole page full of apps. You know what I mean? A whole page full of different things that Asus implements on their phone. And so besides that, and the News Republic app right there, and I'm not sure if that's maybe I've seen that on other devices, so maybe that's not an Asus thing. Maybe that's just, you know, the news provider that Asus decided to put on there. But besides these 3 apps, all these other apps that and just, you know, the Google apps, you know, Clock and, you know, Help, Email, you know, all that stuff is on there. But a lot of this other stuff that you guys see, like these pages, all these are applications that I put on this device. Okay, so besides the Zen UI 3.0, which is the skin that's running on top of Android 7.0 here, that's really all you get on the phone. You know what I mean? Now, I know some of you guys don't like Zen UI 3.0. I love it. I like the way that it looks. I think it's a dope look. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say that I dislike stock Android, but I'm just not the biggest fan of stock Android. Why? Because it's too damn stock. You see what I'm saying? It's too plain Jane. You know what I'm saying? Give me something. You know, give me something to rock with. Give me something to change and customize. You know what I'm saying? Give me some options. Give me some features. You know, I like double tap to put the screen to sleep. Double tap to wake the phone up. That just brings it to the home screen. And like I said, you just barely tap that fingerprint sensor and boom, the phone is unlocked just like that. And it works 100% of the time. You know what I'm saying? So not a whole slew of special features with this device other than, you know, like I said, you've got the double tap feature. You've got gestures where, you know, you can draw on the screen, you know, to load different applications. I mean, but besides that, I mean, everything else is just pretty straightforward. I mean, you do have a lot of options, you know, when you go into settings, you know, so there's a lot of things that you can change and customize. You know what I mean? But I mean, as far as, like special features, I mean, nothing that you haven't really seen before on other devices, with the exception of the Tango. And that's a big one, okay? Because, Tango is just, that's a whole different entity when it comes to, features and things of that nature. It's really a dope feature, all right? So my final thoughts for the Asus Zenfone AR. Just like any other device, is it for everybody? No. And the only reason why I say that is because everybody's not going to want and need those top specs. Everybody doesn't look for phones like this for the performance. There's several phones that perform well. You know what I mean? Everybody's not going to want to pay this premium price for this particular phone. But I will say, to those of you that want a high-end smartphone with top specs, okay, with 128 gigs of onboard storage, with 8 gigs of RAM, with a front-facing camera that is excellent, with a rear-facing camera system that is second to none. I mean, this camera is in a class of its own. The only thing that disappoints me about this camera is the fact that it does not have the 2.3 times optical zoom that the Asus Zenfone 3 Zoom had. But I understand why they didn't implement it, because Asus, they wanted to differentiate these devices. Because it's like, if they implement that technology in this device, then why would people go buy the Asus Zenfone 3 Zoom? So I get it. They have to have a selling point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you guys want that ability to be able to really zoom in very close to objects and take crystal clear photos, then you're going to want to get your hands on the Asus Zenfone 3 Zoom. And that phone is dope. I've also did a review on that. You can check out the camera and the video features on that. Some of the best camera still shots and video footage I've ever taken on any smartphone. And that's a bold statement, because there's a lot of phones that have really great cameras. But this camera right here and the camera on that Asus Zenfone 3 Zoom, in my opinion, can go toe to toe with just about any smartphone camera that there is on the market. And I don't give a damn that the Note 8 was unveiled today with a dual camera system. I saw the keynote. You know what I'm saying? I saw the conference. I saw the camera samples that they displayed. I saw, how they shot the still shot of my man in the crowd, and then you have the ability to, make it as blurred as you want in the background, if you really want to focus in on the subject or not. That's dope. That's some dope technology. But I'm telling you, man, if you guys have not seen the footage, the still shots that I took with the Asus Zenfone 3 Zoom, go check that out. You don't even have to watch the whole video, because the whole video is kind of lengthy. It's the pristine review for the Asus Zenfone 3 Zoom. Just take your finger and drag it across the bottom of the little tracker when you're watching it on YouTube until you reach the camera portion, and then just watch it from there. It's about maybe 6 to 7 minutes long. Unbelievable. I mean, those pictures look like it's a straight up postcard. I've showed some people those pictures, and that's the first thing that they said. Oh man, why are you taking pictures of a postcard? Like, bruh, that ain't a postcard. That was a live image that I took from a lookout completely overlooking Seattle, which is where I reside. You know what I'm saying? So I think you guys can tell that I'm a fan of what Asus is doing. But I just get excited. I get excited about tech. I love doing this, man. You know what I mean? I really, really do. So, can I recommend this phone? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're looking for a high-end smartphone that's got pretty much everything that you can want and need, with the exception, it doesn't have wireless charging. The phone's not waterproof. And so I understand we live in a day and age right now where some people will allow those things to be the determining factor. Okay, but for those of you that those things don't matter, this phone can quite possibly be the phone for you. Now, you've got a lot of options to choose from. All right, you got a lot of things to choose from. Like I said in the unboxing video, the OnePlus 5 pretty much has these same specs with the exception of the Snapdragon processor. Again, this has the 821 processor. The OnePlus 5 has the Snapdragon 835, and it's actually cheaper than this phone. And the OnePlus 5, it has a dual camera setup. It's got all the bells and whistles. It's a very high-end smartphone. And it is cheaper than this. But it ain't got Tango, baby. It ain't got Tango. I'm not even sure if it's Google Daydream VR compatible. You know what I mean? This is the first smartphone that has both Tango and Daydream compatible. The first phone, Asus, innovation. All right. So you guys already know the business. If you found this video informative to any capacity, please click that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe to support this pristine movement. All right. I love doing this. I'm always looking to get my hands on the next item, that I know you guys feel is a hot commodity. And just to give you guys the clear understanding, man, that you got options, man. It ain't always about Samsung and Apple. I mean, those are some major conglomerates in the mobile phone world, but there's other options. Did you guys know that Huawei is the #3 leading mobile manufacturer in the world? Huawei. A lot of you people ain't even heard of Huawei. You know what I mean? They're major overseas. They've come to the US and they've made a huge dent in the mobile phone world. And I'm not surprised by that statistic because I've had a couple of Huawei devices. I've had the Honor 8. You know what I'm saying? I've had the Honor 6X. You know what I mean? The Mate 9. Oh my goodness. The Mate 9 right now is one of my favorite devices. I mean, you're talking about a phone that is extremely feature rich and it's got everything. Big screen, dope cameras, IR blaster, dual speakers, full HD 1080p display. I mean, it's got everything. Kirin 960 processor. I mean, it performs like a champion. Yeah, you got options out there, baby. But yeah, let me quit clowning around, man. You guys already know, man. Like, share, and subscribe to the video. Share the video if you guys know of anybody that is looking for a really nice high-end device like this one here. If you found it informative. And, shout out to all my subscribers, man. I appreciate you guys. Not too long ago, man, I reached 1,000 subscribers. I think right now I'm up to like 1,080. You know what I'm saying? We're climbing. I've only been doing this thing here for about a year, a little over a year. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, 1,080 subscribers after about a year of putting in work, that's not too shabby, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to pop my collar. You know what I'm talking about? But I couldn't do it without you guys. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys for taking the time to rock with me, checking out the content that I put out, appreciating it. The feedback that I get from you guys, I love it. I learned so much from you guys. Even the haters, man, y'all just keep fueling me to continue to do this thing. You know what I mean? And the goal is to be one of the top most reliable reviewers that you can count on to get your smartphone news to really help you make an informed decision. Because this is money spent. And a lot of people rock with these phones for years. Me, I'm switching phones every other week, it seems. But that's just how things are moving in the smartphone world. This phone just came out 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Today they unveiled the Note 8. My understanding is that the LG V30 is supposed to be coming out on the 31st of this month. Then you're going to have the iPhone 8 coming out. And then, the Mate 10, is coming out. I mean, the Essential phone is about to be upon us, or it's shipping right now. About to get my hands on that. I mean, they just keep rolling out. You know what I'm saying? So this is the Asus Zenfone AR. I'm your man, Pristine, bringing you the content. Like, share, and subscribe. And you guys already know, until the next video, definitely stay safe, stay blessed, get your lives spiritually fit with Christ. We're definitely living in the last days. I ain't gonna preach to you. And definitely stay pristine in every aspect of your lives, y'all. Keep it pristine. Yeah. Peace, baby. Yeah.